Hello, and welcome to the next part in our series of helping you with soft skills to get in and get ahead in government. I'm Javier, and this is the Gov Geeks, and this week we're talking about critical thinking. Yes, one of the coolest things that everyone likes to talk about is critical thinking. I know a lot of times when we're sitting in job interviews, all of the questions are totally about critical thinking. Well, maybe not so much. But first off, let me explain essentially what critical thinking is. So it's allowing yourself to have the opportunity to think through the consequences of actions or the activities, giving a deeper analysis or deeper understanding of something. Really, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. There's a lot of great resources on critical thinking to help you think critically even better. I talk good one of these days. But really, have the chance to really think through how you can be a better critical thinker. In today's show, we're going to share with you just about 4 strategies that we know for sure works in the workplace. All right, so critical thinking, a good strategy, number 1. The first is to conduct an analysis for insights. Now, allow yourself to think through how to do something better, or what are the issues or the concerns that might arise. Look for insights. Look at different ways of seeing things, why these are so important, why an action or activity might be harmful or beneficial to the organization. Look for those insights. Don't just think through, okay, well, maybe let's continue to do the things that we've always done exactly the same way, no matter what. Now, if you have mapped out some really good instructions and operations, that might make sense. But allowing the opportunity to think critically of something, to come up with new insights, can make the whole process that much better. Okay, the next is to be proactive rather than reactive. Essentially, you're asking, well, what can I do with these new insights? Why are these things important? How could this be beneficial? Well, if you gain these insights, you can be proactive. So you're solving the problem before the problem even exists. How cool would it be if you could make sure that operations are going to be fantastic, or that you know that the work that you're doing is going to have its intended impacts that it was designed to do? If you are proactive, you increase the odds of actually being successful. However, if you're reactive, then you might feel like you're always running around trying to solve problems and all these issues and concerns are coming up. Maybe some of those could be solved if you had been more proactive rather than reactive. So again, give yourself that time to find the insights and then think about how you can apply them proactively. The third is really to have options, prepare some options, not only for yourself, but as well as for others as well. Colleagues, friends, supervisors, all of that. This is fantastic because it gives you a path forward. You could say, just like in dominoes, if you knock down the dominoes, it would lead to one action, to the other action, to the other action. If you have options, you could change the direction of some issues or concerns. If you are thinking through, again, what potential courses of actions could happen. So you're planning something, you had some insights, you were proactive, but you recognize this might happen. You might run into this. Okay, in the event that this happens, here are these options that we can consider. Or if you are beginning to implement something and you've had this new insight that perhaps this would be a better strategy or better approach, you can present those options to whomever the decision maker is. To say simply, I realize we're going to do this, and this is our intended outcome that we would like. But if we took this action, this thing might happen. Therefore, I've taken the liberty of coming up with 3 options that you might find more appropriate. We can do this action, or this action to have this type of a consequence, or this type of an output or outcome. Having those options demonstrates that you are thinking above whatever level that you're in, because we can always think about something bigger, whether if it's the individual project, the program, or the bigger operation. The more you are thinking things through and having these insights, using critical thinking, the better off that you're going to be. So the last strategy that we have is really consider the potential consequences. So what could possibly happen? What could possibly go wrong with something? If you think through the consequences, okay, Maybe you have something that works really well. Awesome. You want more of that. Well, how much more can you handle? What is it that the organization could be able to do? If you have a larger outcome, but it costs a little bit more money, okay, well, how can you manage the consequence? So you can say, option B is going to have these bigger things, but we might run into an issue later on where we're going to have to spend more money on this. Just to let you know, this is a potential consequence, because there's never anything in any sort of program management or operations that's going to be 100% perfect 100% of the time. So think through the consequences. Help the decision makers know that that is going to be the best option possible, with some caveats that you might need to consider in the future. Now, what is really, really great about all of these strategies and critical thinking is that it demonstrates that you have the capabilities to manage whatever the actions or the management activities are. When you're doing that, you would be a more effective leader, operator, or an individual that is really acting on these actions or activities. That is really great for career growth and career management. Now, take a second, and as you are thinking through these as strategies that you can perform in the workplace for your job, also ask yourself, okay, how can I think critically for my career growth and my career development? Okay, if I take this job, or if I take this training, or if I see these outcomes or activities as a result of me getting this degree, would that lead me to a better salary, a better promotion, a bigger organization, whatever your goals are? Is it worth the consequences of having additional dollars to pay for the tuition or for the certification process? When you're mapping all of these things together, you might begin to realize that critical thinking is a key component of all aspects of your life. It's not just in the workplace or in education and career management, career growth, but really it's all of the above. Give yourself the chance to really think through critical thinking. Find out some more information on it by doing a couple of quick Google searches. Look for more YouTube videos or other information from the Gov Geeks as well. We're happy to help you along the way. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week. This has been our series on soft skill management to help you get in and get ahead in government. We look forward to seeing you next week. And before I forget, also, don't forget, we have our great book that is going to be releasing here on September 1st, the Gov Geeks Guide to Government Resumes. And we are just so excited to share it with you guys. A lot of great information and materials to help you get in and get ahead in government and build just an awesome resume. So it's available now. All you have to do is you can go on and pre-order the soft copy or the digital copy, but the actual release date is September 1st. Thank you guys so much for your time and your attention, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.